Hello, and welcome to the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction's Career Readiness Professional Learning modules. In this 8th module, Future Ready Frameworks, connecting WCRS with competency-based education and career-connected learning, we will prepare to envision the kind of future-focused systems needed to cultivate engaged, successful students who are ready for any pathway after high school and for lifelong learning. To make the most of this learning experience, we encourage you to engage actively by taking notes and reflecting on how the content applies to your unique context. Pause the video whenever you need to process the information or dive deeper into the provided resources. If you're able, consider collaborating with colleagues or teams for richer discussions and shared insights. There's also an optional participant workbook available on the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction's WCRS webpage that will support you and your team in working through the reflection prompts, discussions, and activities to get the most out of the WCRS professional learning modules. Finally, don't forget to connect with your regional CISA for additional support as you bring these ideas back to your school or district. Let's dive in. Let's take a moment to review today's learning objectives. In our last module, you completed the I Can and We Will mapping activities. That work helped us identify the student experiences, opportunities, and outcomes we hope for, in addition to systemic guarantees that we, as educators and leaders, are responsible for, creating the culture, environment, practices, policies, and opportunities that students need in order to fully develop the skills, knowledge, and dispositions outlined in the WCRS. In this module, we'll take the next step by looking at two powerful frameworks that bring those guarantees to life: competency-based education and career-connected learning. By the end of this module, you will understand the core principles of competency-based education, or CBE, and how they ensure mastery of essential outcomes, explore the features of career-connected learning, or CCL, and how it gives students meaningful real-world applications, recognize the synergy between the two, how mastery and meaning together prepare all students for college, career, and community readiness, and finally, identify small actionable steps you and your school can take to align to CBE and CCL. This module is designed to meet you wherever you are. If you're brand new to CBE or CCL, we'll walk through the basics. If you're more experienced, you'll see how these approaches can integrate with WCRS at the systemic level. Before we dive deeper, let's frame these two ideas side by side. Competency-based education ensures that students master the essential outcomes. Think of it as the foundation. Career-connected learning makes that mastery meaningful by connecting it to real-world context. Think of it as the application. Together, they form two halves of one system. CBE guarantees equity in outcomes, and CCL guarantees relevance in experiences. Without CBE, learning risks being uneven and inequitable. Without CCL, learning risks being abstract and disengaging. But together, they transform WCRS from words on paper into true, meaningful, lived experiences for our students. The WCRS are meaningful and powerful additions to every school system in Wisconsin, and they can easily exist within traditional K-12 structures. However, WCRS adoption also provides teams and systems with a moment to pause and consider potential other approaches and structures. And that can be a powerful opportunity that you do not want to pass by. If we want every student to graduate career, learning, and life ready, we need systems that not only guarantee mastery of core skills, but also connect that learning to real-world context. And that is where competency-based education and career-connected learning come in. Why is it important to pause and talk about systems now? Well, because students today are navigating unprecedented levels of disengagement and rapidly shifting workforce demands. Employers are clear. They need more than technical skills. They want durable skills: collaboration, adaptability, critical thinking. CBE ensures that students master these skills. CCL ensures that students apply them in authentic ways. When combined, these approaches create systems where engagement, wellness, and readiness aren't just goals. They're the foundation of how school operates. This is about preparing students not only for graduation, but for lifelong success in every path they pursue. Let's start with career-connected learning, or CCL. At its core, CCL is about creating real-world, hands-on experiences where students connect classroom learning to careers, community, and broader life roles. That might mean a 5th grade science class doing a water quality investigation with the local conservation department. It might mean high school business students working with a local coffee shop to create a marketing plan. It might mean middle schoolers interviewing family or community members about how they use math in their real jobs. Notice that CCL is not a one-time event like a career fair or a guest speaker. Those things have value, but CCL goes deeper. It's an ongoing approach that builds durable skills, collaboration, communication, adaptability, alongside academic content. The test of true CCL is this: are students applying what they learn in authentic ways, and can they see the connection between school and their future? Here's a strong Wisconsin example. At Madison Metropolitan School District, students can take a Spanish language career exploration and preparation course. The year is structured around 4 phases that mirror a career journey. In the fall, students reflect on their strengths and explore possible pathways. In winter, they practice durable workplace skills like professionalism and teamwork. In spring, they focus on career communication skills, resumes, cover letters, and interviews. Finally, they apply their learning in authentic projects, balancing work and life demands. This model is powerful because it blends language learning with career readiness. Students aren't just learning Spanish, they're developing bilingual communication skills and preparing for post-secondary success. Think about your own context. How could you embed CCL into a course or unit you already teach, whether that's art, science, ELA, or CTE? In addition, if this example was something that excited you or sparked your curiosity, check out DPI's Friday Finds for more examples of career-connected learning in action. CCL creates benefits across the system. For students, it makes learning more engaging and relevant to their future goals. It builds transferable skills like problem solving and teamwork, ensuring all students have access to career exploration and strengthening readiness for college and careers. For teachers, CCL brings new energy to instruction. Lessons feel more purposeful because they connect directly to the real world. Teachers often report higher student motivation and fewer behavioral concerns when projects feel authentic. CCL also opens doors to professional growth, working with local employers, networking with colleagues across subject areas, and finding new resources. Let's pause here for a moment. Where do you already see examples of CCL in your school? Maybe it's a STEM fair, a service learning project, or a dual credit course. How could those examples be deepened or expanded to align more closely with the WCRS I Can and We Will outcomes? This is a great opportunity to pause, reflect, and discuss with your team. When you're ready to resume Module 8, feel free to restart the recording. Welcome back. Now, let's take a look at Competency-Based Education, or CBE. CBE is a transformational system built around student mastery. Let's walk through some of the key tenets represented in this module. First, equity is the foundation of CBE. It's about ensuring that every student, no matter their background, has the opportunity to support. Student agency is central to CBE. Students are not passive recipients of education. They actively drive their learning. They're empowered to make decisions about their learning pathways, how they apply what they know, and how they demonstrate mastery. With personalized pathways, each student follows a flexible learning path that meets their unique needs and goals. Learning can happen anytime, anywhere, and it's not restricted by a one-size-fits-all structure. Responsive pacing means that students move forward based on their mastery of material, rather than being confined to a traditional timeline. This ensures that students who need more time to master content get it, and those who are ready to advance can do so. Assessment in CBE is meaningful and focused on empowering students. It's more than just tests. It provides real-time, actionable feedback that helps students grow. Finally, timely differentiated support ensures that students receive the help they need exactly when they need it. Educators monitor student progress and provide targeted support to help them achieve mastery. These elements work together to create an environment where all students can succeed and are fully prepared for college, career, and life. Competency-based education and career-connected learning work together to prepare students for academic and career success. CBE establishes a personalized framework focusing on mastery of essential skills and knowledge, allowing students to progress based on their understanding rather than time. Meanwhile, CCL provides practical, real-world applications of these competencies through experiences like internships and job shadowing, giving students valuable insights into the world of work. Together, CBE and CCL create a dynamic learning environment where students gain both academic mastery and practical skills for future careers. This approach ensures equitable access to career readiness, offering all students, regardless of their background, the opportunities and support needed to succeed. This is a great place to pause as a team and discuss the reflection question on this slide. How could combining competency-based education and career-connected learning re-engage your students? When you're ready to resume, feel free to restart the recording and continue with Module 8. Up to this point, we've been exploring competency-based education and career-connected learning in concept, but these approaches aren't just theoretical. They're already alive in Wisconsin. One example is the Liftoffs Initiative, where 15 rural districts have partnered with CISA-4 to transform entire district systems to CBE and CCL through continuous improvement cycles. These districts are not just piloting isolated strategies. They're working together to align future-ready outcomes with instruction, assessment, emerging technologies, and student and teacher experiences as the core foundation of the initiative. The result is not CBE and CCL embedded into an old system, but a new model of schooling built to guarantee readiness for every student. For students, this means having guaranteed opportunities to master essential outcomes and apply them in meaningful, real-world contexts through personalized, future-ready learning experiences. For educators, it means shared learning and collaboration across districts to create future-ready classrooms that invigorate and excite both educators and their students. While this is just one example, it shows that systemic transformation is possible, and it's already underway in Wisconsin. Now that we've seen how CBE and CCL are alive in Wisconsin through our Liftoffs districts, let's connect to another statewide structure that many of you are already deeply familiar with, Academic and Career Planning, or ACP. ACP provides every student with opportunities to explore careers, connect learning to future goals, and document their progress. When we align ACP with CCL, we move from exposure to integration, making sure students don't just hear about careers, but actually apply their academic and technical skills in real-world settings. This alignment shows up in activities like internships, job shadows, dual credit opportunities, and project-based learning tied to local industries. These experiences bridge the classroom and the workplace, and they ensure that students graduate not only with knowledge, but with practice in applying that knowledge in authentic contexts. From a systems perspective, ACP becomes a lever for bringing CCL and CBE together. It monitors readiness across academics, careers, and social-emotional skills, while giving educators the tools to make continuous improvements. In other words, ACP can serve as the statewide mechanism that turns these frameworks into everyday experiences for every student in Wisconsin. Transitioning to competency-based, career-connected systems doesn't have to happen all at once. In fact, the most successful changes start small. Begin with manageable shifts, adopting a new teaching strategy, designing a career-focused project, or strengthening partnerships with local businesses. Celebrate small wins because each step builds momentum. For educators more advanced in this work, incremental change also means aligning policies, grading practices, or assessment systems to mastery. For novices, it may mean piloting one unit or course. Both are valuable because systems change is a journey and not a single event. Competency-based education ensures that every student masters the skills they need. Career-connected learning makes these skills meaningful through real-world application. Together, they create future-ready pathways for every student in Wisconsin. And remember, change begins with small steps. Whether you're just starting or deep in this work, each move you make builds a culture where students can confidently say, "I am ready." Thank you for your leadership in advancing this vision in our state. We'll see you next time for our final WCRS Professional Learning module.